Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why I don't try to save the most money possible, especially in the short term. And I see this in people in all types of income brackets based on their mindset of how they spend money, right? And so, for example, if I go to the grocery store and I see one item, it's like $2, and then another item that's like the healthier version, that's $3, I'm always going to pick the $3 item over the $2 item, right? Because the $3 item brings me more value, and it's a dollar extra. And if I buy the $2 item, it might actually ruin my health, right? So we kind of have to do like a cost benefit analysis when it comes to spending money. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that I ever made in life is trying to save the most money possible, no matter what. And I think that's a big mistake. I don't know if you've ever dealt with like a landlord. Like when I used to be a tenant, I remember my landlord would always be freaking out about every single thing and like, oh, $50 here, $100 there. Oh my goodness, like property taxes. I'm losing money. Therefore, I'm like, the property taxes have increased. Therefore, I'm losing money. So I need more rent or something like that. And she was very price sensitive. And, now that I'm a landlord, I'm like, if my tenant asked me for like something that costs, I don't know, 50, $100. Heck, I even replaced a new roof that cost me 10 grand, but that's because the roof was old. Um, I wasn't trying to save the most money, especially in the short term. I was gonna spend money in order to gain the maximum value, the maximum return on investment, right? And I think what happens to a lot of people, okay, this is just my personal opinion, is that they're so focused on saving the most money possible that they never achieve their goals. Because in order to achieve your goals, you have to spend a little bit of money, right? I mean, let's say I make an offer to you that I can teach you, and I'm not saying I can do this, but I can teach you how to save, 100 or $200,000 on a real estate property, right? Um, but I want you to spend maybe 2 or 3 grand with me at least. Okay. Now, 2 to 3 grand to possibly save 100, $200,000 on a property, I'd probably go for it. And let's say it didn't even work. If as long as the risk is low enough where if it didn't work out, I lose it 2, 3 grand, no big whoop. I'm fine with that, right? I'm fine with that. So we got to take calculated risks in our life. But most people, I'm telling you, and this is why hate stepping outside my house, is they're like, I'm going to try to save the most money and not spend it at all, and then wonder why they haven't achieved their goals, right? And I see this in pretty much all income brackets, including the nurse that I work with. I see some of that mentality. And so again, this isn't like a criticism of like, you're a bad person if you do this. This is just like the standard in society. And this is why, like, if you ever see like the most discounted price and that's your motivation to do something, it probably won't work, right? So I'm just going to give you an easy example of this. So let's say that you decide that you're going to go to the gym after New Year's because it is the cheapest and discounted price. What is the likelihood that you're gonna keep going to the gym? They probably have the highest failure rates in the New Year's when it's the most discounted. And in fact, I heard this that gyms actually don't want all of their members to go. They don't expect most people to go, right? So if they don't expect most people to go, think how bad it gets during the New Year, right? Like everybody makes their New Year's decorations. It's the most discounted. Go to the gym, and then you buy the membership, and then you don't go at all, or maybe kind of best case scenario after 2 or 3 months, right? So wouldn't it have been better for you if you started going to the gym, uh, uh, even if you went on New Year's, instead of paying the 9.99 whatever, you pay like 20 or 30 or 50 or even 100. Like if you paid 100 and that's a significant chunk of your income, I almost guarantee that you'll gain a lot more value out of the gym than just paying the cheapest price, right? And of course, we don't want to, overspend money or put money into a black hole, right? We want to gain the max, what we call the ROI. But a lot of people, when they spend like the cheapest amount of money, they ain't getting that ROI, right? And so that's why, like, I'm not the biggest advocate of saving the most money possible, especially in the short term. What you want to do is spend some money, gain the ROI, and do that over and over again, and not just have the mentality that you're going to save the most money possible, right? Like, people who are successful spend some money in order to gain more money, right? I remember I asked ChatGPT, like, hey, how much does McDonald's spend per year? And I think it was estimated, and I don't know if this is actually accurate or not. Oh, they spend 30 billion, but they make 40 billion in revenue, right? So they spend 30 billion in outside vendors and consultants and all this other stuff, and they make 40 billion. And to most people, right? To most people, they can't fathom that. It's like, I'm trying to save the most money, and I'm gonna do everything I can to not spend it, right? And this is like, um, this is the mentality that I think will hold most people back, right? Like, you spend as little money as possible, you're essentially getting cheap things. And what happens with cheap things? They just break, right? What happens when we get cheap New Year's gym memberships? We're probably not going to go to the gym, right? It's okay to spend a little bit of money. And this is what happens with a lot of people. It's like, I want to save the most money. It's like, all right, did you achieve your goals? Probably not, but this is how I save the most money. And it's like, all righty then. Okay. So, yeah. So, again, it's okay to spend a little bit of money. And I don't like the cheapest option, especially if the cheapest option statistically is something that I'm not going to do, right? Like, if I spend $99 or not $99, 99 cents on a new gym membership in the new year, and I'm not going to go, I'd probably rather spend $100, especially if it fits with my budget, to for a month, so I could be motivated to go, right? Hopefully that makes sense, right? But again, this is just me, my personal philosophy. Again, I don't plan to save the most money, so this for me is a no. And actually, can I strike this out? Yeah, let's strike this out. Especially in the short term, right? This is where I'm at, where it's like I want to spend some money to gain value, and I certainly don't want to put money into a black hole, right? And I gotta probably put short term here because I think saving money in the short term versus the long term are kind of two different things. But if you spend money to gain value, in the long term, that kind of is like saving the most money if we want to think about it that way. All right. Well, that's it for today. This is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. So hopefully, people listening on this call uh, didn't get a New Year's gym membership at the cheapest price. But, in the words of Principal Skinner from The Simpsons, prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong. Okay. Have a great day.